Welcome back to the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast, where, as your host here, Calvin Glen Alexander, with my co-host Trey Florence, we're going to go over the BYU upset win in Stillwater, barely talk about the Arizona loss, because let's just gloss over it, and preview the baseball season for the Big 12, specifically talking about Oklahoma State, as well as Trey has a trivia question.
The CGA Tour, a podcast unlike any other. Now your host, Calvin Alexander.
Hey Cowboy fans, today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters most. Welcome back to the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. Trey, how is it going?
It's going well. I was not expecting a win this week, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, I basketball-wise, I was hoping for a 1-1 split. Did get that with very exciting fashion and exciting comments from the BYU head coach after the game, which, you know, I think all of that information is out now. I think we're set on where we're at there. Yeah. Everyone's curious. I went to the game, did not hear the chant, but it would not surprise me if the chant happened by a handful of fans. Just from how, talking to my younger brothers, the F word is used more commonly, and it does not mean as much as it does to someone who's 32 and older. So, you know what? I'm not saying we did anything, but I'm not saying we didn't do anything.
I couldn't hear it on the TV, so...
Yeah, I was up in 320, you know, in the GA seats. And
right.
If you had asked me if any fans said or heard anything from the game, if I had to interview afterwards, BYU fans say anything to me walking out of the building, nor would I have expected them to. So, great win in Stillwater. The main thing I took away is, oh my gosh, this team is really good and can play up real well. But the Arizona win, the Arizona loss doesn't make me necessarily feel the same way. So what would you take away here?
So it's definitely like if we start off fast, which, you know, that's what kind of happened in this game. Granted, the Arizona game, that one was a back and forth, but like at least for the BYU game, right? That game, we, you know, start off pretty well. We start off like a 9. It's like 20-9 at one point at the very beginning of the game. And I feel like we always need that cushion because we just cannot be consistent throughout the whole entire game. And at least the last few losses besides the Arizona game, we always had a very slow start and then we had to catch back up. So this was roles reversed, which was nice to see. Of course, you know, people are going to complain about the referees still about that game because apparently BYU is just very popular with the refs. But I mean, overall, great game. Was I going to be expecting a Roy versus, I'm gonna totally mispronounce his name, but
AJ DeMonsta?
AJ, yeah. I take the easy route. Do AJ. I wasn't expecting to be a 30 bomb from both of those people just to, you know, play in that game, which was just amazing. Like, Roy has basically been doing pretty good, at least the past week besides Arizona. We're going to skip over Arizona, but I mean, he still was the leading scorer in our game against them. So there's not a lot to say against that Arizona Wildcats game, but at least I feel very good about how everything was going, at least for the BYU. We probably had, you know, like that high and we just didn't show up towards the Arizona game because we already knew we were going to lose that, but I at least wanted it to be a little bit closer. But overall, final takeaways from the BYU game, I am shocked how well we matched up against them. I don't know if BYU just didn't come out of the gate strong, but they did close in, but then we get that lead again. So it was like overall a very good performance to see. Was it worth storming the court? I don't know. I'm on the fence about that because, like, yes, it's a top 25 team, but we're like on the cusp of the top 25. So
I don't know if we're on the cusp. I would say we're down there. We're not this isn't our first Big 12 win on the season. So
Right.
that's a little, all right, you're going to rush the court. When it's not your first Big 12 win, it's your fourth on the season. And BYU, I think if BYU hadn't lost 3 in a row, we'd all be going, yeah, storm the court. Like if they're ranked 15th in the country, still the same ranking, but hadn't lost 3 in a row going into this game, we'd go, okay, all right, yeah, storm the court. Or last 4 out of 5, the exact.
Right.
Then I think we go, okay. But you know what? I'm not against storming the court when nothing bad happens. I'm against storming the court when something bad happens. I know you can't play both sides of the game here. So what am I going to say? I think it was a responsible court storming. I don't think there was any malicious intent towards anyone. And Steve Lutz, after the game, had an incredible quote about AJ DeBonsta, where he says, hey, one of his own fellow players walked past and didn't give our coach a handshake. He grabbed him and said, hey, no, we're going to shake hands with the coach. Really profound, really great that happened. Great soundbite there from Steve Lutz in the post-game interviews after the game. Shout out to Marshall with Pistols Firing Blog for getting that video and audio all done. The BYU game, of course, and the Arizona game are 2 completely different teams.
Totally different, yeah.
Steve Lutz's teams, I think, now are undefeated, for Oklahoma State, when they score at least 81 points. And, of course, this was this was a 99-point win. Had he scored 99 points and then in the next game score 47, Arizona's the number 1 team in the country. Is BYU that far off? Is there some? I'm going to guess no.
No.
I think teams are figuring out how to play against BYU. And also, we shot 34 free throws to their 17.
Right.
If a BYU fan wants to go, what the heck was that game? That's okay. And great, our free throws got more inflated down the stretch because they were fouling to, kind of slow down the game and stay.
Right.
And we made 22 of those free throws. So it's not like we made 30 of the 34.
Right.
It really wouldn't have been a game then. But it was a lot of fun. It was a great game to go to. Anyone who can get a chance to go to Stillwater for a game, got to do it. It's a must.
I will admit the students needed that because, we had an awful season of football. So this is at least something that they could cherish and remember. At least, you at least got one thing, right? Because this year wasn't the best in football. So, that's the other reason why I'm like, it's all right to storm the court because we just haven't had the best year sports-wise. But, I mean, overall, it was really impressive, how we controlled that game, but we just had no control against Arizona, which I feel like that's just how Arizona's been playing this year.
Yeah, listen, the Arizona game we could talk about for a lot of time if we really wanted to. The BYU game, I think I'm good there. The Arizona game itself, not fantastic. I don't know another way to put it. Every single guy was negative. We ended up shooting a total of 23 free throws to their 25. All the other stats here are somewhat normal. In fact, the weirdest stat by far is Arizona made 2 out of their 14 3-point shots. That's the weirdest stat from this game by far. 1, they only shot 14 threes. We shot 28, by the way. We made 6 of them. So not a great percentage no matter what. But the fact they only shot 14 and then still put up 84 is quite alarming. I do think we got a little bit ahead of ourselves and kind of comfortable, and we started really slow. I mean, granted, we were up 6-4 in the first half. Don't be wrong. But, they at one point had 84-41 with 2 minutes left in the second half.
We were not shooting 25% field goal percentage for the whole entire game. I don't know if this is just because we were just on such a high and then, now we have to go play somebody else. But I mean, at least standings wise, this is kind of like what we were kind of talking about last week. It's like we had to win one game on this next stretch somewhere, some way to at least kind of put us in the middle of it, and this helped us. So at least that helps us on the overall Big 12 standings. I know TCU and us are technically tied with the 4-6 record, but that does help us, give us a little bit more confidence going down the rest of the season, I feel like.
And I also want to add here, Arizona is the number 1 team in the country. They are 23-0. They are playing Kansas later on in just 2 days. By the time we're listed this, they might be playing Kansas, honestly. It's pretty crazy. So their stretch of games in a row, they had West Virginia, BYU, Arizona State, Oklahoma State, Kansas, and Texas Tech. They had a week in between games. They got tuned up. They got ready.
Yep.
The last game they played was against Arizona State, and they were tested. I mean, that's all I can say. Like, it was 87-74. They were tested. The previous game against BYU, they won by 3. Granted, great win for them, even though it was away. But like previously, they beat West Virginia by 30, 35, if I'm reading this correctly. So they are putting the smackdown on teams. Kansas State by 25 earlier on the season, TCU by a solid 13, Arizona State by another 7 earlier on they are really, they're playing non-conference opponents like UCLA and Connecticut and beating them. And they're beating Alabama by 21. Like they're beating San Diego State by 20. Like this is a really, really good Arizona team. I really wish we had scored more, of course, and maybe like a 20-point loss or some point like gotten close to the spread. But this was not shocking by any means, because you give Arizona a week off to play great defense, and they come out and they go, we're just going to play good defense. Like we're just going to win off of defense alone. Okay, that's what they did. So, anyways, fun talking about basketball.
I mean, you know what? At least, I feel a little bit more confident with the Arizona State TCU games that are coming up this next week. So that at least, like, I'm just going to say the Arizona's game just didn't exist, and, still take that BYU game for where it was. I know BYU is technically kind of going down right now, but that at least still gives us a little bit more confidence going into that Arizona State game. And that's the game that I was like, we got to win. So that's at least, hopeful and promising.
Yeah, the other thing, listen, Arizona State game, it's an away game. We're not currently projected to win by Ken Palm. Everyone knows by listening to the podcast, I reference Ken Palm a lot because, generally speaking, it's a pretty good average, of all the information here. But then we play TCU at home, Valentine's Day, 11 a.m. tip-off. You're thinking about what to do? Let me make a pitch to you. Mm-hmm. You wake up, you're a college student, Valentine's Day is going on, you want to do something, if you're single or dating somebody, either way, maybe you're married, I don't know. Get out there, go to Galgariba, have some fun in the morning, and get your day started off with a Cowboy, hopefully win, where we really empower the student body, by just showing out. You're right, that was a great student win for BYU. And you go, we don't need to rush the court because it's 11 a.m. tip-off against TCU. We're going to go and win. Right. So I will say this could be a placeholder time-wise. They could change the time, but it's currently an ESPN2 game on Saturday, 11 a.m. I really wish we got like a 6 p.m. tip-off. But on Valentine's Day, I don't necessarily wish that as a married man. I'm glad it's not a 6 p.m. tip-off during Valentine's Day dinner. So, Oklahoma State schedule makers, not going to be mad about that one. But that there are 2 winnable games this week before we record again. Bounce back, get back in the win column after a short, hopefully, stay in the loss column just from this Arizona loss. Like, let's get back there. And then, because we get Kansas at home here later on this month, too. Like, there's not a ton of wins here looking forward, looking down the columns here. There's basically 2 more predicted wins here from Ken Palm for a 19-12 record, 7-11 in conference. Let's see if we can. I mean, if we can beat Arizona State, and maybe we can flip the Colorado game that's away, or maybe we can flip the Cincinnati game or the UCF, or see what we can do. So I'm hopeful.
There's promise. Yeah,
there's promise. All right. Well, baseball wise, we're on to our baseball prediction part of the podcast. Trey, who are you predicted to win the Big 12 this year in baseball? What do you? There's one other thing I wanted to shout out real quick. Apparently, there's a bunch of Big 12 conference new changes coming from Brett Yormark. That's going to be announced on Tuesday. So I will maybe be back with an emergency podcast to cover that. But as for this year, it's groundbreaking. The Big 12 podcast guys who know what's going on are like super hyped about it. I think it's going to be amazing and great. It could be naivety. I don't know. It could be just legitimately they have to be excited about whatever Brett Yormark, their boss, is saying. But I also hope not, and hope they're generally excited. So we'll be back to cover that. Don't want to gloss over it. But baseball prediction-wise here,
it's going to be very entertaining. Well, we kind of have it rough to start off with. I know I'm doing a little side tangent real fast, because we go against Arkansas, very first opponent, which is this Friday, and they're in the top 25. So we'll see how we look at the very beginning of the season. You never know, right? But as far as your original question for at least the Big 12, I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like a Arizona versus going to be TCU. TCU's been pretty good, pretty dominant lately in their program. So I have a feeling it's going to be like those two are going to probably be seeing each other a lot this year, both in the season and in the off season.
Yeah. BYU, Arizona, Kansas had a 43-win season last year. I mean, there are so many teams here that are really just incredible.
Right.
Big 12, that's what's tough. Oklahoma State-wise, we have 0 players on the Big 12 baseball preseason team. That's a little worrying, especially when I'm seeing like a Cincinnati and a UCF and, a couple other guys that are not going to be on teams that contend for the Big 12 championship. You wouldn't think, at least preseason-wise.
Right.
We don't have one Oklahoma State guy. We don't have an Oklahoma State guy in preseason yearly awards either. Granted, there's 3 TCU and 1 Arizona State. But the preseason poll, we're picked tied to finish 5th in the conference. TCU is picked to finish first. They had 13 out of 14 votes to finish first preseason-wise. And Arizona had 1. Then you're followed by West Virginia, Arizona State. Like, if anyone was, the Big 12 is the basketball conference. Well, I hold your breath. I think we might also be the baseball conference at this point, because we sent 8 teams to the postseason last year, only 1 to Omaha in the Big 12.
I was a little disappointed by that. I feel like we should have showed up a little bit better in the postseason overall Big 12. But yes, we do have a very, I think it's because we are very good at taking on each other that we kind of self-eliminate ourselves going into the tournament type of thing.
Well, and also I would say TCU might be unanimous if TCU could vote for themselves in the poll. So all 14 teams start on Friday, 13th, and I mean, Texas Tech is really good. Mm-hmm. Kansas and Oklahoma State tied for 5th. Yeah, I mean, this is the Cowboys' 12th consecutive NCAA regional that they had last year. K-State came in at number 7 after earning back-to-back NCAA postseason selections for the first time since 15 years ago, 2010, 2011. So, Cincinnati got their first NCAA at-large bid last year since the 74th season. So, I think Josh Holiday can get a Big 12 championship. I don't doubt that year in, year out.
Right.
This year is particularly stacked for the Big 12. It's particularly stacked for TCU, and it's insanely stacked for Arizona State, who, I mean, would they have the freshman of the year? No, that's a TCU guy. Yeah. Strasnider was named the perfect game National Freshman Player of the Year in the NCBWA National Freshman Hitter of the Year in 25 and was leading the country in triples. LBTCU finished with the second most triples in the country. I mean,
that's
any stat you put out about TCU is their baseball team. If they don't,
record breaking,
if they didn't go to Omaha, they're defeated.
Right.
We're hoping to. Can we host a super regional? Sure. I'm hoping we host a regional. I think that's kind of the bar has been set. Maybe host a regional. When we picked to finish 5th in the conference, I think getting to the postseason is also really nice. To be honest, here's where I'd land on Oklahoma State prediction preseason wise. I hope we can get to Omaha. Mm-hmm. I think we'll host a regional.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. I do not think we'll win the Big 12. I think we'll host a regional. I do see this team coming on late, ton of transfers in. But also, that's such a tired thing. I hear myself going, man, ton of transfers. Every single ton of transfers. Our basketball team basically has all transfers. Our football team has all transfers. Baseball team,
all transfers.
It's boring. Yeah, I mean, honestly. But how is Josh Holiday, a very, very seasoned and veteran coach, going to get the Big 12 baseball team together? I mean, how is he going to get us ready to really get there? this evolves into a larger discussion of like, are we tired of Josh Holiday at this point? Do we think he's a bad coach? I don't think so. I am not saying that. But like, when you've been coaching for as long as Josh has, and you haven't been to Omaha and you're Oklahoma State with, I think, the best or top 3 baseball stadium in the entire country, people will start asking questions. I don't want to be the first one. I'm going to be the last. But I'm bringing this up just to say, like, Oklahoma State fans, do not be surprised if people are calling for Josh Holiday at the end of this season. Rob Walden, pitching coach, we had all last year without him, if I'm correct. And how much different are we looking as a team in year 2 without Rob Walden? You know? So that would be my...
Because if I remember correctly, that was kind of like our week 2 weakness was our pitching, I feel like.
I apologize. He retired this past season. It was after this past season he retired. So this is the first year without Rob Walton. Like, how will this team look this year?
Right. Hopefully a little bit better on pitching, because I just remember that was like our biggest issue, especially going into like the Big 12 tournament. Because it just didn't feel like we were there. Granted, we weren't hitting very well in that tournament either, but you know, if we're 5th, it's going to be rough. But like, it's weird. Like, there's definitely a divide in the Big 12. Like, you obviously know who the big hitters are, and then it's just like whoever can kind of like be 4th place, 5th place, 6th place type of thing.
Do you make anything at all from the fact that the host stadium changed this year? It used to be Globe Life. Now it's going to be the summer. Spring training baseball stadium and surprise stadium in Arizona. It's currently for the Kansas City Royals and Rangers use it as their spring training facility. There's 2 Arizona teams in the conference. You know, you've also, I miss the times when I could ride my bike down when I was in high school and in college down to the Bricktown ballpark. But of course, like, if there's kids living there in Surprise, Arizona, I'm sure they're going to enjoy those times too. You know, I mean, like, right. I like a lot that it's not Globe Life anymore, just because honestly, it just is always going to feel empty. Like, I don't know how many big, like, that stadium can seat 40,000 people. Yeah, it's way too many for a college baseball championship. Game, I'm sorry, it just is.
And then it doesn't help that we start off there at the beginning of the year. We're going to be in Texas with Arkansas and Oklahoma, so and Vanderbilt. So the first 3 games down there in Arlington, and I'm going to probably assume it's not going to be very filled up.
You're not going?
Unfortunately, no.
We were sending you the podcast. We're sending you there to go to come. Anyways, of course. There are so many other things here that I would say about the Big 12 Baseball Championship as far as like where I would wish would host, but honestly, they keep moving around. It was the All Sports Stadium in Oklahoma City in '97, and then it was basically Oklahoma City until 2021. It was at Arlington a couple years here and there. It's at One Oak, which can't believe Tulsa hosted the Big 12 Championship, but that's in 2015. I forget why, but I'm sure someone will let me know. And then Globe Life in 2022, 2025. I'm glad we're kicking that idea out. Heck, I would love to see Oklahoma City be able to host the Big 12 basketball championship, because not that I think we'd win, especially after the Arizona game today, but I would love to just see that in Oklahoma City, and it's supposed to in the state where we don't have a Big 12 team because it's in Missouri. No, but I digress.
I feel like it's going to maybe move once we have that new arena in Oklahoma City, but it might, but we'll see. I mean, it makes sense why they still do it in Kansas City, because that's just like the Hall of Fame up there, and it's really cool. If you've never done it, totally go check that place out. It's a fun experience. So that's at least why it's probably always going to be up there in some way, shape, or form. I don't know why. Probably because they got 2 Kansas teams, technically.
Yeah. I mean, Monster probably. I'm excited to see a change, but I'm excited to see. I kind of wish all of them would rotate. Like I wish you could rotate through. Not honestly, of course, avoid Florida because it's just one team there. But
Yeah.
like, can we go like basketball, baseball, men's and women's basketball, softball, baseball? Can we just rotate all of those like every year? But I'm also, hey, great with softball stadium in Oklahoma because
Right.
the softball stadium. Where do you land on like this Big 12 baseball season though? Like as a prediction wise, listen, I would rather see at least one game he played before I'd go ahead and pick like the guy who's going to be the MVP of the team. We've got a lot of transfers coming in this team. How many times do you want me to say that? Like to finish 5th in the conference. I agree with that because TCU, Arizona State honestly is really good. Like TCU and Arizona were in the Big 12 championship last year. It's kind of a weird championship because TCU's like hosting.
Right.
But Arizona won, and that's kind of where we're at Big 12 baseball wise. Like there's so many transfers in for Oklahoma State. I'd hesitate to pick a guy that I think could be kind of emerge, right?
Right. I think we'll have a better idea of the team after the OU game on Saturday. Because I'm sorry, but that first game against Arizona, I know these games are probably planned well in advance, but man, that's going to be rough playing like the number, I think, 7 team in the league right off the bat. So I'm just like, oof, that's rough. But, at least it will put us like how we're going to probably do this year. I feel like as long as we're still like committed and working hard, I feel like we'll be, a good middle of the road team, but like you never know. They could be really good from these transfers and they actually mesh really well. You never know. So it's going to be really entertaining. I feel like this weekend we'll at least know who we will be rooting for.
Yeah, and if I'm throwing out a name, like gun to head, Aiden Miola. I really think he could kind of emerge here. Last year he played 13 games in that season-ending injury. His dad is like an all-world champion goalie, so athletics run deep in the family, and he's been with the team since 22. Like this is kind of the last. Pretty sure he has a medical red shirt from last year. I don't know if he could also be wearing another red shirt though, but I know he has medical from last year. His stats are really good. I mean, his father was a goalkeeper for the United States men's national soccer team and played in 90, 94, and 2002 World Cups.
Ooh, did not know that.
And his brother played at Stetson University. So shout out to Oklahoma State news and info here because that's incredible. And Miola is the guy who senior infielder. He's gonna be the guy to make it. Benj-esque is too strong because Carson Benj was just an incredible athlete, and of course now is like top 2 in MLB's pipeline, right behind Nolan McLean, which is incredible. So shout out to the New York Mets. But yeah, I think Miola could turn it back on. It's kind of going to be. Sure. That's the guy. That's the guy this year. Infielder, who's the guy who could really do something for Oklahoma State? I think it's Aiden Miola. All right, well, what is the trivia question you got here, Trey?
Yes. So since you just happened to be in Gallagher-Iba Arena, let's see if you were paying attention. So with that being said, how many Final Four appearances has Oklahoma State / A&M have made?
Okay. 2004. 96. Then I was born in 93. I'm gonna say 4. Say 4. Double.
The answer is 6.
Man, what are the other years?
Let me pull up the other years, but I know technically we won 2 of the years, 45 and 46. So that helps make it to the 4. Let's see. 1 second.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's pretty good. They're going to ask me how many championships has Oklahoma State won as a university now.
Oh, yeah.
And unveiled the banner Wednesday.
Yes, that's true.
Country. So
we got 1945, 46. Technically, we were A&M at that time. Then we got 49, 51, 1959, and 2004.
Why do I think we made it in 96? What's going on with me?
You probably are thinking of like because of the transition year. You know, like how basketball plays like in the middle of the year.
I thought there was like the whole toothless in Seattle. Like, no?
I can look it up.
I'm sorry. Your trivia questions are generally speaking, you're not batting 1,000 on trivia questions. Is that the best way to say it here?
No, that's 95.
95, yeah. So 95. Did you mention 95?
I said I may have not. Let's try it one more time. I may have had numbers numbers.
Said 59 or something.
I said 45, 46, 49, 51, 1995, and 2004.
Okay. Well.
But if you can guess, what is our record in the national semifinal games?
2
and 4. Yeah.
It's kind of an easy one there.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to touch on here as far as like baseball or really? Get out to O'Brate. If you haven't been to a game yet, it's incredible. It's a great game day atmosphere.
It's a nice place, that's for sure.
Saturday, April 18th. Is there a game going on? Because if not, you should be in Stillwater anyways for the rumored by Eric Morris himself in the press conference this past week spring game. So
they're bringing it back.
Bringing back the spring game.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Good orange versus black, orange versus white. We'll see what it looks like.
Because that was always a fun thing with the spring game.
He wants to be in front of people. Is what he said. We want to be visible. I think was the exact quote. We want to be visible. So really excited for that one. Saturday, April 18th, 6:00. You get out to O'Brate to see KU against the Cowboys. That'll be one heck of a matchup. And also, if you are not already signed up to volunteer or run in the 20th annual Remember the 10 run, Saturday, April 18th. First gun goes off at 8, second gun goes off at 8:15, starting the 10K, 5K, and then the 1 mile fun run, the Eddie Sutton 1 mile fun run. So get out to Stillwater on Saturday, April 18th. If you have not already, hey, spring game's going on right after. You know what's great? Going, running, or volunteering and helping hand out stuff. And then changing the car real quick, going to spring game, hanging out a little bit. It's like,
go to Joe's. There you go. You got a day.
Go to Joe's right afterwards. You don't need to tailgate for the spring game. It's a spring game, You can just instead be running instead. Get a couple of those calories off and then, kind of get them all back, drinking a couple brews at the game or beverages of your choice.
I always forget that we now have that.
Honestly, going to a basketball game and seeing like, oh yeah, here's the stand for seltzers and White Claws and
blows my mind. For all the years I've been, blows my mind.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, here's some Stowey Weed or 1890, other stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, and hey, honestly, a lot of great food options in Calgary too. So, but this is a shout to the Remember the 10 run on Saturday, April 18th. Hopefully see you there. Trey, thanks so much as always. And anything I'm forgetting here on this past week? I mean,
not this time.
I think, not this time. Hockey talk is somewhat dulled down a little bit. They are playing at Tennessee, and they're having hockey matches against Tennessee. Those have been going well, from my understanding. Bedlam hockey is later on this month, at the end of the month, in February.
Cowgirl basketball is still doing pretty good.
Cowgirl basketball is heating up. I mean, just demolished Arizona State earlier today. Got that W. And
wrestling did good on their last match.
Wrestling's done pretty darn incredible. Wrestling senior night.
Yeah.
Great job in the N7 jerseys or unis. Or singlets, excuse me. I do know the words. I was curious. I do know the words. Trey, thanks so much here. This is our Big 12 baseball preseason preview for all that matters. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters.